Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Islamic Audiobooks collection. I will be reading 30 Lessons for Those Who Fast by Abdullah al Qarni, which can be downloaded from kalamullah.com. Let's read. Page 62. Lesson 13. Mistakes made by those who fast. Many of those who fast make mistakes because they do not understand Allah's religion, including matters relating to fasting. They, accordingly, do not know what are the things that invalidate, impair, or harm the fast. Neither have they any knowledge of the things they ought to do while fasting, what is allowed, what is obligatory, and what is forbidden. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever Allah wishes good, He grants understanding in religion." Thus, it appears that the one who does not understand or ask about his religion is such a person whom Allah does not wish well. Additionally, Allah Almighty says, "And even before any time, O Muhammad, we never sent as our apostles any but mortal men, whom we inspired, and if you have not yet realized this, ask those who possess the message." Quran 16 verse 43. Those who possess the message here are the scholars. Thus, it is only fitting that the Muslim who really wants to worship Allah faithfully should ask about the matters he does not know about his religion. He should furthermore seek knowledge and try to understand his faith. Some people who fast commit great sins that nullify their fast. Foremost among these is backbiting. Some of these, which were mentioned in the lesson of How Does the Tongue Fast, include slander, indecent conversation, derision, swearing, and others. Among the other mistakes is the wasting of money on meals both at the beginning and at the breaking of the fast in Ramadan. They prepare food enough for a crowd of people, consisting of numerous dishes, cheap and expensive, with drinks that are sweet, sour, and even salted. Then, at the end of all of this, they eat only a little and throw the remainder into the refuse. This, no doubt, is contrary to the great teachings of Islam. Allah Almighty says, "And eat and drink freely, but do not waste. Verily, He does not love the wasteful." Quran 7 verse 31. Everything that exceeds man's needs is considered an abominable waste. Allah, the Lord of those who fast, does not like extravagance. This is illustrated in his words. "Do not squander thy substance senselessly. Behold, the squanderers are indeed the ilk of the Satans, inasmuch as Satan has indeed proved most ungrateful to his sustainer." Quran 17 verse 26 to 17. Likewise, he commends those who, whenever they spend on others, are neither wasteful nor niggardly, but remember that there is always a just mean between those two extremes. Quran 25 verse 67. During Ramadan, our marketplaces are filled with buyers, all of them carrying enough food and drink to feed tens of families. Yet, there are families dying from hunger because they cannot find a piece of bread. They sleep under the open skies, making their beds upon the dirts, while families here are afflicted with indigestion caused by their extravagance and showing off. One of the purposes of fasting is to empty the stomach of all contaminated material by reducing the intake of food. But how can those who indulge in excessive eating and drinking and waste much more realize this? Many people spend their fasting hours sleeping. As a result, it seems as if they did not fast. Of these, there are some who only awake to pray and then return to sleep. They, as it were, pass their days in neglect and their nights awake. Neither their long sleep nor staying up at night will increase or reduce their age. The wisdom of fasting, therefore, is that the one who fasts should experience the pangs of hunger and savour thirst in order to gain the pleasure of Allah. The one who devotes his entire day to sleep will not attain this. Among the fasting people are those who play games that are, at the very least, regarded as despicable in Islamic law. They kill their valuable time in futile games, which they claim help them to relax. Allah says, "Did you then think that we created you in mere idle play and that you would not have to return to us?" Quran 23 verse 115. And leave to themselves all those who, beguiled by the life of this world, have made play and passing delights their religion. Quran 6 verse 70. There are besides other people who fast and spend their entire nights awake in futile activities. They engage in amusement, play, and deviance without offering a single prayer in the darkness of night. Among the worst mistakes perpetrated by some fasters is their failure to perform collective prayers for the most trifling excuses. This, of course, is among the signs of hypocrisy and evidence of sick hearts and dead spirits. There are others still who have no relationship or closeness with the Quran during Ramadan. They read much, but not the glorious Quran. They delve into many books, but not the Book of Allah, the Most High. It is certainly regrettable that during the great month of Ramadan, there are also people who make no effort to do good for themselves by giving charity. They do not honour their tables by allowing others to break their fast with them. Their doors are shut and their fists are tight. Allah says to them, "All that is with you is bound to come to an end, whereas that which is with God is everlasting." Quran 16 verse 96. And for whatever good deed you may offer up in your own behalf, you shall truly find it with God. Yes, better and richer in reward. Quran 73 verse 20. Apart from the categories already cited, there are besides some people who forsake the Taraweeh prayer in Ramadan and ignore it completely. Such individuals are apparently driven by their inner voices that tell them their performance of the compulsory prayers is enough. These same persons are, however, never satisfied with a little of this world. They seek by all means its non-essentials as well as its necessities. And if you come individually on the day of gathering and you see the different stations in it, on that day regret will be immense because of the loss of what you wasted in this worldly life. And finally, there remain another group who fast and yet inconvenience their families with the responsibility of making so much food and drink that they are left with very little time for the Quran, prophetic traditions, remembrance of Allah, and worship. If their demands were limited to the necessities, their families would surely find greater time to expend in the worship of Allah Almighty. O Allah, increase us and do not decrease us, bestow upon us and do not deny us, honour us and do not disgrace us, pardon us and grant us forgiveness. That is it for today. Jazakallah khair for listening.